everyone, this is the continued part of our project series. In this video we will continue our project after the action center. So in my last video we have activated the action center related activities in studio side as well as the orchestrator side. So let's continue. So we have completed already this thing. Now we have two tables. First a DT result, second a DT result 2. So now our task is that we have to store these two tables in the UiPath action center so the user can take an action on this particular data table. So let's see how we will achieve this in the studio. So what I am doing, because we have already generated a Excel file, so I just use a read range activity. How I use this, under the activity and under workflow we have a read range activity. In this I just specify the path and the sheet name. So for the better understanding, let me open the output. Now we have output folder. Under this output folder Excel file is there. If I open this, so I have two sheets, sheet 1 and sheet 2. Sheet 1 has some data and sheet 2 have some other data. So won't give a user this functionality, so user can take an action on both sheet data, so means verify from their side. Let me close this. Just take a log message for checking the count, like how many record we are retrieving. So because we install the action center activity, if you go to the activity and type the long, under the long you have a task option. Under the task we have a create form task. So if I drag it, so create form task activity has some options. The task title, which I have mentioned, please approve the extracted data. Task priority, we can change it according to our requirement. Task catalog. So hope you are aware about this. If not, please let me know in the comment box. I will make a separate video on the new feature of this activity. Right now I'm not explaining this. Hope you are already aware. If not, please let me know in the comment. So what I am doing, under the collection I have two variables. Why two variables? Because we are dealing with the table, so I have in table and in table 2. Data type is table, data table, and the direction is in and out. Why? Because we are taking input from DT Excel result and sending out to the same after the modification. So like if user feel that for table 1 there are some mismatch of record and record are not appropriate, so if he or she take an action, then the output would be comes again in the same variable. And if I go to the designer panel, in the designer panel what I have designed, so these are the components under the designer panel. So I'm just go to the layout. Under the layout I have a tab option. So I have feature like I can give the name of this tab. If I want to add another tab, so tab 2 I can write and save. Like my consignment detail and second charge detail, I have created tab 1 and tab 2. And for tab 1, under this data I have edit grid option, so I'll just drag it. Similarly, if I click on tab 2, a second edit grid, I have tab 2. And if you see my this consignment detail, this is for your example, but this is my actual work. So under this consignment detail, if I click on the edit button, if you go to the field key, so this is the consignment detail tab, and if I go to the edit grid, so edit grid is bind with a table. This is our first table. If you see in the image, dt extracted result, excel result, dt excel result go to the in argument of in table. So I bind this. Let me do this. If I go to this and type in the field key in underscore table. Similar way, like API key is not unique for the table 1 because we are already declared, but you have to do in a similar manner. Similarly, for the second tab, when you click on the edit grid, and the in table 2 is the input. These are in table 2 is the argument for our table 2. I just mentioned that. After that, you have to create the fields in the basic component. Just drag and drop a text field. Similarly, in the text field, give the actual name. For just an example, if I have a date column, if I go to the field key, it automatically track the date, but it's a small case, so it's a case sensitive field key. So you will take care of about this. Like if the column name is in a capital letter, so it's better go to your extracted Excel sheet and copy the column. Like this is my column, so copy the column, go to the field and put in the property name. So it will reduce your chance to some mistake, because if you configure everything but somehow in the last, if column name is not matching, then data will not populate. If you click on the preview, so you are able to get this kind of a interface. So use after that means if user verify this and user verify this, so can approve. And this is the editable grid, so user can manipulate the data on the UI side as well. So this is our create task. When the task is created, now the user take an action. User go to the action center, under this action center we got a task which is unassigned. So under unassigned, right now we don't have any task. So if I run this, let me run this and portray. See range activity. Now the log count 17 record for table 1 and task is created hopefully, and it's now waiting for the task review. If I go to the unassigned and if I refresh it, so please approve the task. And this is the table verification, is the catalog. So again, if you are not aware, please let me know, I will explain this. So I click on this assign to cell. Now it's coming to my pending status. Now for just an example, I feel that this will not contain some information. I have to click on this. Yeah, date column is miss. So whatever action I want to take, for just example, I'm just deleting this record, and for this record, let me change the consignment detail is Shiv Kumar, my name, and just save it. Now the detail has changed. If I click on approve and complete, so the task move to the complete status, this one, and now I have to go the wait section and resume it. So once I click on resume it, it will invoke the data services. Okay, so let me explain the workflow first. Under this workflow, so if you see the two arguments, what I am passing the table first and table second. Table first we have in the DT Excel result, and similarly Excel result 2 we have table 2. So we are passing the table for this workflow, and what this workflow is contained. So before this coming to this workflow, let me explain a little bit about the data service. When you click on the data services tab in your orchestrator, you have an option. So if you not create earlier one, so you got only the system user, and there is the option create a new entity. For just an example, if I'm creating entity similar like a table, so I'm creating a table demo. In the table demo, so I know this which type of a column I have. So if I click the table demo, now I can create the field. Few fields are by default like ID, created time, created by, updated time. So I have date column. Type is, I can mention either date time or just it's a text, because two, like let me open this, because two word are integer, rest three are the characters. I'm taking as a text type. I create this. Second column I have date is created. Second column I have assignment detail, and you can modify this for the display name, but the name should be similar as the column name tag. If you click on the more detail, then they have more details. If you click the description, so for this date section, if you are able to see this, for this date section I'm not mention any description. I'm just clicking this, like I got the description for this field. Better practice to give some description. If not, then this is not it. Similarly, I have created all the tables for my data services, which table I need to keep. Then I go to the data services. For my table, I have two entities: table consignment, table secondary delivery. And now I'm going to my workflow, and in this workflow I have two sequences for table 1 and table 2. If I come to the table 1, so first it start from the create entity record. First I need to stop. So when we are working with the entity, so if you go to the design tab, under design tab, manage entity, under the manage entity, like right now demo is not there. If I click refresh, so it connect with my orchestrator and fetch the demo table as well. So similarly, what entity I have to means work, so I just check in and click on the save button. For just an example, I'm clicking the demo. Now the demo will be part of my this project. I really not require, so just close. And the first activity you have to choose under this type entity, then create entity record. So it's like if you are aware about the programming language, so in the programming language we have a class A, and the class A have some member method, then we create the object of class A. Similarly, we treat this, we have a class table consignment. Under table consignment we have fields. To extract that fields like A, B, C, whatever, like date, consignment detail, which is, we need to create the object of table consignment, then obj. So this obj is now going to be responsibility. Now it's obj responsibility to invoke the all the fields. Like if I click obj dot, then I got the information of date. Similarly, when I create like entity definition, which browse, so just you need to type table, because I'm using the table consignment detail. Under the table consignment detail, I need to create object. For this example, I'm creating obj table consignment. Now this is my object. Which is responsible for all the action. So now I have created an object. After that object creation, we need to initialize. So just here I am initializing the object input record. How? New table consignment. So it's my object for that. If you want to know this, like let me check the scope of that variable. Only the body, so I just make it for table 1. Object. So I have created the object. Then because I have a table, in table first I have all the records, so what I am doing here, input record object dot object. With the help of that object I am extracting the table. So for just obj table dot, if I click the dot, so I have all the columns which are related to my entity, like invoice number, item quantity. Similarly, I am using all the things and putting the value of current row like 0, 1, 2, 3 in that We have another option as well, like bulk update and all stuff, but for right now what I'm doing, I have created an object. Once I create an object, with the help of that object I'm retrieving the particular field, like input record or consignment, input record or sender name, input record or consignment detail, and on the base of loop for each row in data table, in table first my data table. So in that I know there are 10 or 11 columns, so because I got in a sequential form, so I'm just updating that. Once code comes to this section, then create an entity record, and input and output will create a record for table consignment detail. Similar task I am performing for the table 2. Table secondary. If I check the argument, this is the table first and this should be table second. Hope you got this information. So first you have to create the entity. Under the entity you just specify the particular field. Now comes to the studio. Under the studio just ignore this, and whatever you have a data, for that either create a loop, there are any other option as well you can use for your activity. And in this particular case, first you have to create an object for your entity. Once your object is created, then initialize it. After the initialization, with the help of that object, just assign the value to particular column of that entity. So after this, let me run again, and let me delete them. So like for this example, if some record you want to delete, you have an option delete a single record. Let me delete this. You can delete the whole table record. So table consignment detail I have deleted. Similarly, second delivery charge data, I have no data. Click on the refresh. Let me run this process. Let me close this, otherwise I will get an error. So the code first read the Excel data, and after reading, now we have tables, extracted result and extracted result 2. Then we create a form task. Once we create a form task, it will wait for our action. Now the user will take an action on that task. First I got it is unassigned. I will assign to myself. Then the unassigned task comes to the pending. If I click on the pending, I need to delete this record. Let me do it again. And change the errors. For first record, I have changed the detail, approved it, complete. Once I click on the complete, it will automatically resume, but because we are doing testing mode, that's why it's waiting for our action. If I click on the continue, then our workflow, these two tables are passed to this, then one by one it will create a loop. So I got this detail, and in the consignment same, and let me complete this. So one record is enter. If I go to my data services, if I check my consignment details, so one record is there. Go to the data, if you see, updated record is there. I will run continue. I make a breakpoint of table 2. Let me check the data. Right now there is a one record. If I refresh it, so there are 16 records. Let me check the table. For our sheet 1, how many records are visible? So one record I have deleted, and after deleting this record we have total 16 records. Similarly for this I have 10 records. Click on continue. Done message. Let me check my second table. 10 record. I got the 10 record. So this is all about the data services. Now we got the information in data services. Our second part is that extracting the data result from data services to my app. So PDF extraction task is completed. We extract the data from the PDF and save to the Excel to the Action Center we also completed. Then Action Center to the data services, this part is also completed. Now the pending one is the app. Now what we have to do, we have two tables and we are trying to fetch the data services result in our app. So hope you are enjoying this series of project series. So let me know your observation and your experience in the comment box. We will meet in the next video where we extract the data from the data services and display in our app. Thank you.